Hey, I'm recording this for myself because I just had a cool experience and I wanted to share it and record it so I don't forget. I am at the beach and this is my view outside my room. To put this story in context, my friend and I today were sitting on the deck talking about our experiences with the non-physical, anything unexplained. And we're currently on a beach trip with a group of about 25 people from a remote viewing class we took in August 2025. We were also here with Chris Bledsoe, who is known for his experiences with the phenomenon known as the orbs. So, I have never seen anything like some people talk about when they see UFOs. The closest I've seen are the orbs. The rest of my experiences are like, I have clairvoyance where I see energy and things all the time with my eyes open. But as far as seeing beings, even spirit people, I see them occasionally, but they don't look like real people. It's just not the same. The orbs are a physical object. They're made of energy, but they're real. They are touchable. I mean, you shouldn't. But do you see what I'm saying? The orbs are not a psychic phenomenon. They're in the physical 3D world. But the other stuff I see clairvoyantly is not physically real. It's energetically real. There's energy that flows between us all the time. It sometimes it's organized in a matrix. Some of it doesn't look like that, but so basically what I'm trying to say is I was talking to my friend about how I had never had an experience of seeing any kind of phenomena with my eyes open in the physical, other than the orbs that we've all been seeing, that I've been recording and putting on this channel for several months. So I'm going to flip the camera just in case anything shows up. So I'm having a conversation with my friend saying I've never seen anything else besides the orbs, and I had been hoping that during this week with Chris Bledsoe, I would see something new. Now, I saw a ton of orbs and I got amazing videos. We all did. And everybody in this group had amazing personal experiences throughout the week, and personal breakthroughs, and personal victories, and realizations. And it was a mind-blowing experience, and I want to thank everybody involved, and you know who you are. And I won't go into the whole trip right now, but the fact that we were with Chris Bledsoe and his family is a gift that we are extremely grateful for and honored to have received. So back to my story. In a side note, my guides, I directly channel my guides and my twin flame Chris in spirit, but I also have friends that do that. I have one friend who's a channel, and my Chris directly to me and this channel both said you will have your best experiences with the non-physical beings and extraterrestrials, your guides, seeing orbs in the sky, seeing phenomena. You'll have your best experiences alone in nature. And I was confused about how that could happen, because I live in an urban area, and I'm not able to drive because I'm visually impaired. So I always think, well, how am I supposed to get to this nature that I need to go to by myself? You know what I mean? Yes, and especially if it's at night when the orbs are very visible. I'm not going to probably be in the middle of the woods at night by myself. So what happens is I'm having that conversation, like I mentioned, about how I hadn't seen anything. So I'm basically complaining. I mean, I'm not really, but I'm just saying I can't wait for the next level where I see something else. That was a pretty cool flock of birds right then. Well, it's related to the story. So my friend says one of her experiences is seeing what looks like birds during the day, but they're silver and reflective, and they just sort of look magical. And I said, well, if you're feeling the magic energy, just trust that, because you can talk yourself out of what you just saw, but the energy involved is the secondary way that you would know, or maybe the primary way that you would know that this was a real lived experience that you shouldn't doubt, right? We have multiple psychic senses, and clairsentience is the one where you feel the situation. You feel it in your body and your energetic field. So don't discount that. So she said, they're birds, but they're kind of reflective and silver, and they feel magical. And I said, just trust it. And after we had this conversation, we also did a chant that had to do with a bird, and it also had to do with the goddess. And the goddess is why we are all on this trip with Chris Bledsoe. She's the lady that he saw when he first, years ago, when he had an encounter. I think it was 2012. She's the goddess that was with me at my awakening in 2015. She's been coming through me lately because I invited her. I didn't realize I could do that. I don't know what I thought she was inaccessible to me that way, maybe, that I had to go through guides instead. But recently I realized I could have been speaking with her this whole time. So there's part of this story about wings, okay? I'm talking about silver birds, wings, the goddess, and the fact that my twin flame in spirit, who's always with me, and my other guides in spirit told me my best experiences with these phenomena would be when I was alone in nature. So I walk inside the house and I come out here on this porch to sit alone for a little bit. And the view is really nice. The weather is perfect. And I hear the swishing of the beautiful trees right here. It's just a nice sensory experience. And I'm feeling my twin flame, Chris, sitting next to me saying that he wanted some alone time with me because I've been with my friends. Sorry about the noise. I've been with my friends all week, like nonstop with all my friends and not talking to him. And he said that he wanted some alone time, like a date. And I said, you're right. I have not done that with you, and I'm sorry. So I'm sitting here, and then I see these silvery looking birds. I just assume they're birds. And here's the other part. My guides also have made it clear that I would see the most magical things when I didn't have my phone to record them. And I'm always recording things. I always have my phone. You've seen my orb videos. I've got a good amount of those. But right now, I don't have my phone because I left it outside on the front porch with my friend. I didn't plan to stay back here on the porch. So I don't have my phone, and I start to see these silvery birds. And keep in mind, I'm alone in nature, just like they told me. I mean, I'm not out in the middle of the woods, but there's nobody here, and I'm surrounded by beautiful trees, and there wasn't much traffic noise. It was very nice. So all the things that they told me would happen are coming true. And I start to see these birds, and I think about what my friend just told me about how she sees silvery, magical-looking birds. Now, I'm visually impaired. I'm legally blind. I can't really tell if they're birds. I think they are, but I don't see wings. I just see a white, sort of reflective, silvery surface. Maybe it's a seagull, and it's white, and I'm just seeing that. But then it just sort of looks like they disappear into the blue sky. Like they're there for a minute, and they flash, and then they disappear. That could still be my visual impairment, right? So I am dismissing it twice because I'm thinking, well, I am visually impaired. I can't look through my phone to verify what that was like I normally would, so who knows. But then I see all these silvery birds popping out all over the sky and all like flying towards the same direction, a central point, like a, you know, they're all pointing the same direction towards a center point, like a portal. And they're like appearing around the edges and then darting towards the center. They're all going that way. And I'm thinking, that's not normal. I know it looks like birds, but there's no way. I have never seen a birds do that. So that was weird. Now, the next part I forgot almost as soon as it happened, and then it came back to me. So after this thing I just saw, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, now that was real. This is what I was talking about earlier that I hadn't seen yet, is something besides the regular orbs. And it's those silvery birds, just like my friend was talking about. Oh, that was a nice little thumbs up. Thank you, bird. Oh my gosh, right when I was talking about the birds. Because we were talking about the goddess, God, and the reason we're all here. And there was a chant, and a bird chant that my friend had just recorded on my phone before this happened. So this is all bird related. And I have a lot of bird synchronicities. I've been told that Chris and I are a bird on our original planet. So we're talking about birds all afternoon, and about the silvery birds in the sky, and about the orbs, and about how I'd never seen anything besides the orbs. And as soon as I go outside by myself, surrounded by nature, without my phone to record it, I see the weird silver bird activity that I just can't explain. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm talking to my twin flame, Chris, who, again, he transitioned into spirit almost 5 years ago, so this is all using my psychic senses. I'm talking to him, he's sitting next to me, telling me not to doubt these things. We're just having a regular conversation, and my thoughts are just going, right? Like, what was that? Trying not to dismiss it, but also wanting to make sure I consider every possible explanation, so I'm not fooling myself. Because I don't need to make up these experiences. I've had plenty, and I want them to be real and credible for myself. I don't really care what other people think, but for me, I need to know what happened. Or, I want to know. But then Chris puts a memory back in my head. I was leaning towards trying to explain what I just saw in some logical form. And then Chris reminds me of the next part that happened that I saw. And I forgot this. Because it was so crazy that I didn't know where to categorize it, so it just sort of left my brain when it happened, and then he had to bring it back and remind me that I saw something else. After I saw all the birds moving towards a central point, I saw sparkles all over the sky, like white silvery orbs popping in and out all over this sky. You see this blue sky here? All over it, especially right here. I saw like sparkles in the sky, popping in, disappearing, popping in over here, disappearing. A bunch of them, like somebody lit a firework, like a sparkler. They didn't have tails or anything. They just popped in and went away. And they were all like white, sparkly, silvery white. Poof, like a cloud of them. And then they were gone. And see, that memory didn't stick the first go round, because I have never in my life seen anything like that. And I was thinking, wow, I wish I could have recorded it, but yet then I understood that it wouldn't have happened if I had my phone. It's not going to happen. And it just reiterates what I've been told by my guides and my twin flame in spirit, and the fact that I know some of my most magical experiences, looking at the sky, or in any other way, mediumship wise or bilocation wise, have been when I'm not trying for anything. I'm just minding my business. It's a normal day. But this is not a normal day. This is the day I saw I don't know. I still don't know what it was, but it was not something I have ever seen before. It was not of this earth. And I do feel that it is the orbs still, that this is just another form that they can take. And there is something to do with the bird, because, listen, I mean, there's been so many birds in this recording, but I have a long history of a bird. Chris and I have a crow guide. We have an owl guide. We've been told that we actually originate as a bird creature, and that our job is to see the society from above and float above it and rarely touch down. And when we touch down, we enjoy it for a minute, but we sort of observe from the outskirts of society or the outskirts of a group. But we hold the energy of the group for safety. So we're like a grounding safety force, even though we spend most of our time up in the ether. So I'm having this whole conversation with my friend on the porch today when she's talking about seeing her silver magic birds in the sky, while I'm complaining that I've never seen anything like that. Because I said, I don't see daytime orbs much. That's all I said. I just looked at the sky and said, I would like to see more daytime orbs. I've only ever seen them at night. I'm wondering if it's because in the daytime it's harder to see because it's so bright and I'm visually impaired. Maybe the nighttime ones are easier to see because it's dark and they sparkle. And then I'm getting these sparkles all over the sky in the daytime. It was probably around 4:44. I don't know that because I didn't have my phone, but it was right around that time. And I have so many number synchronicities that 444 would make sense. So let's just say it's around that time. And I guess I'm done. I just needed to remember this. Because it's the kind of thing that was so... And I'm feeling the energy of everything at the same time. It's one of those moments of real mindfulness where you're feeling everything. Your senses are honed into this one present moment. It felt special. And then I saw those things and I'm feeling all the energy. And I already have been this week because of many, many things that I don't have the energy to get into. But if you watched this, thanks, because you're the first person that really, this is the first way that I've recorded what happened. And for me, it was big. I know some people see these things regularly, but I don't yet. But that's about to change, I guess. Oh, I should say, I'm also wearing this. And this is a sacred piece of jewelry. I created it myself. I channeled this design during meditation. I channeled the goddess, as well as my guides and my twin flame, but now I'm channeling the goddess. So this is exactly what I saw in my meditation. This is blue topaz, this is Larimar, and this is star ruby. And, it's about awakening clairvoyance. And I just happen to be wearing this today. I don't know if it matters, but I'm just recording it so that I can remember, in case this turns out to be a portal, because that can happen. I'm also wearing agate that Chris got me from the thrift store because I told him I had never gotten gemstone jewelry at the thrift store. Ever since I said that to him, the last 4 times I've gone to the thrift store, I have found real gemstone jewelry in purple, which is our color because we carry the violet flame. So this is one of the pieces he gave me from the spirit side. He's in the 5th dimension in the astral plane, but he finds ways to do stuff like this. I'm also wearing rutilated quartz. That's rutile, golden rutile inside quartz. Kind of looks like an orb. I thought that was kind of significant, and that's one of the reasons I wore it. This is a star ruby that I designed and just received recently. And then this is my wedding ring. It's a pink zircon that Chris also got me from across the veil. It took a long time for it to manifest in my life, but it did. Now, zircon is real. It's a real gemstone. It's a crystal. It's known as the Time Lord because they say it's likely the oldest mineral on the planet. That's 40. It's 44 billion years old, I think they said. Or actually it's 444, like 44.4 billion years old. And I just told you this experience happened around 444. You know, I'm just going to connect the dots here with the synchronicities, because that's how I roll. So if you're not into that thing where I dive into synchronicities while I'm talking, you probably quit this video a while ago, because that's just what this is going to be. So yeah, I'm just trying to remember the gemstones that I was wearing, because I believe frequencies get encoded into the crystals. That's how crystal healing works. You know, that's why they can use crystals in electronics, because they do have electromagnetic field, and they do have resonance with different vibrations, right? Describe it however you want. They hold energy. So because of this experience I just had, and where I had it, in the context of this magical trip that I manifested with Chris Bledsoe, it was the goddess. It wasn't really me. I was just the vessel that delivered her wishes that our group gather, because many of us have had experiences directly with her, it's what Chris Bledsoe calls the lady. I call her the goddess because to me she is God. That's how I awakened. So I'm just recording every detail of this so I don't forget, and I'll know which crystals were embedded with this energy of the divine, because I mean, that's what my Chris said when I asked him. I was like, what did I just see? And he said, you saw the divine. And I've been asking to see it. And I've been connected to it all week. I'm connected to it all the time, but it's stronger this week because this trip is magical, and so is this group of people that I'm with. Okay, so if you watched all this, thanks, I guess. I don't know. I gotta go process this. I have not processed anything in my head. I'm just recording it, so I don't forget. Again, thanks.